man. Someone entertain me, please. Like, I'm so bored right now. I'm watching, like, YouTube and stuff and the news, and why am I bored? Someone entertain me, please. You know what I mean, guys? Like, jeez. Yeah, I'm live. Bored out of my damn mind, guys. You got grandma glasses on. My buddy sent me this picture, and he's got like a Facebook like camera app, kind of like pictures, or it's like not a picture. It's where you put on, you know, it's like just a fake thing you put on. It's like this. It's got like these lines. You know, your grandma's glasses or grandpa's glasses that have the stuff. It has like little metal bits that make it so they don't fall off your ears. The glasses. That's what he's got on in the photo. It's funny. I'm just bored, bro. What's up? I just went live. I just want to see if someone wants to entertain me. Woo! I totally got fat during the clown-demic. Just from not going to the gym and eating tons. Look. I've always had this, though. It just got worse. Yeah, I'll come over for dinner tonight. We'll have roast at my buddy Tyler's. Yeah, I used to make that all the time. I got one too. My friend gave me one yesterday, and he gave me a George Foreman grill too. He's killer. Woo! Then make some nachos. And discover a cure for baldness while you're at it, Tyler. Since you're so bored waiting for your food, use your brain and make a cure for baldness. I know you're smart.
Well, Canadians aren't being encouraged to travel outside of the country.
Yeah, it's good. Don't worry. You're all panicking like you didn't cook it. Dude, I set shit on fire before. When I worked at Christo's, one time I wasn't paying attention, and I did the same thing yesterday. And I put something on the grill and walked away from it. Some crackhead was bugging me outside, like right where the door is, right? There's the grill pretty much, but it's 20 feet away, and this crackhead was doing shit, trying to steal my bike. So I went outside, and then the fucking grill caught on fire because of the crackhead. The same guy that tried to attack me before. I should have punched him right out. Yeah, give me half, Tyler. I'll eat it. Like, you're all panicking about your recipe, right? The slow cooker recipe, it's fine, bro. I did it lots. Yesterday I wasn't paying attention. I went on the patio to talk to my neighbor. And I turned the elements on in the stove, and I put the spatula down, and it caught on fire. It stunk like burnt plastic, so I had to go outside for 10 minutes. I was choked. It's easy to cook though in a slow cooker, and you worry too much. I do that too. I worry about things that don't even matter. What's going on, second viewer, third viewer? I'm so bored, guys. Like, what's going on? I'm just at home, bored. I went live because I was just really bored. I don't know if you guys are bored. I've been at home. Been watching the news a lot, so now it's 2 viewers. But listen, Tyler, I've been watching the news, and there's 2,500 cases now. And what was it, France? Like, that's insane, if you ask me. What do you think, guys? You will need a negative COVID test in Iceland as well. You do have to check. Yeah, I burnt rice, bro. One time, my friend and me were cooking, and he lives in social housing, and he's disabled, right? And he can't walk at all because the flesh he needs is ate away his hip. So I go make him some food. He asked me to cook him lunch, so because I came over and talked to him. So I'm like, yeah, don't worry, I'll cook you something. But he never cleans his grill. I mean, elements. Funny. So you know how you have grease, right? And it goes and goes and goes. And I always wipe everything down at least once a week, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day, depending on how much I'm cooking and who I'm cooking for. If I'm cooking for family when they come over, he never does this for 6 months to a year. So I came over and I cleaned it, but there was so much grease I couldn't really get it. And all of a sudden, the whole stove caught on fire. And his girlfriend was over, and she was running around like a chicken with its head cut off in a circle. And I'm like, bitch, sit down. I just went and grabbed, you know, the fire extinguisher. I grabbed it and I sprayed. I moved the food off there, right? And I put it over on the table, pot, in a pan. But I sprayed the fire extinguisher on it, and I was going to spray her because she wouldn't sit down. I was at Jeff's, Tyler. I was like, if you don't fucking sit down, I'm going to hose you down with this fire extinguisher. Because she was running around, and I'm like, you're going to make me spill the food, right? So I put it down, and then she's still running around. She almost ran into me. I'm like, get out of the fucking way, man. Like, fuck. People, man, just calm down. I was cooking, and the flames went like this and almost hit me in the face. All I did was go like this. And then I just, whatever, I tried to put it out with a towel. I threw water at it. And it splashed, I went like this, grease went up my back, and I wasn't even worried. I didn't cry or anything, I don't care. But the fire got even worse, and I'm trying to make it so it goes out, and I know you're not supposed to put water on it, but it was like the towel I tried to I turned the fan on, I'm trying to waft it, and I want the flames to go towards the wall, but they still wouldn't, so then I get fire extinguisher and I'm spraying it with the fire extinguisher and put it out, and I was like, fuck, man. Clean your grill. Did I see that video of the VPD run over the cyclist, then beat him up and arrest him? No. I've been watching the news, I missed that. That's fucked. Full respect, eh? I could never do that if I was a cop. I would be a lot nicer to people. I don't even give a fuck. Like, I would just be like, listen, you fucking dummy. Smarten up and calm down. I'm not going to run people over. That's insane. I've seen the Beirut explosion, though. Beirut blast hero. Cool. The news is awesome. At least there's some positive shit on it.
This program is brought to you by Support Local and BC Auto Centers.
What's so funny, Tyler? I'm serious. Buddy, grease went up my back and burnt my back. When I was cooking at Jeff's. I already knew when I was throwing the water on it. The reason why I did that is because I wanted it to be wet. And I wanted the grease to blow off the grill, the element. And I already knew it was going to happen because I've done it lots. But water and grease and flames went up my back, so it turned like this and it splashed at me. It went up my back, and my back was burnt all up my back. It stung for a couple of days. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I just didn't want the fire to keep going up and catch the fan on fire above the stove. Then I went in the hallway and I punched the glass for the fire extinguisher and pulled it out, and I sprayed I'm like, get out of the way or I'm going to spray you Tapina. And I sprayed it all. I sprayed the elements and put it out. I don't fuck. Who cares, man? It's nothing. It's not scary. It's only scary if you let it in your head. Yeah. No, they launched a rocket into it. It was terrorism in Beirut.
And the final number is get that 649 feeling. The next level 649 jackpot.
I only laughed when I first saw it because I've been in shit like that, but never anywhere near as bad as that. But I've had shit blow up by me, and I just laughed because I didn't get hurt. Right when they said some people died, my face was like, wow. They said 70 were dead and 2,000 were injured. It went up to, I think it was 150. I think it's at 400 or 500 now. I haven't checked. It's a lot. Like you know what I mean? When you have a bonfire or something. My friend one time threw fireworks in a gas can into fire and it exploded. All I did was turn and the fucking fire almost went on me. The guy's an idiot. Mikey action. You know, you can take that ammonium nitrate and store it properly, or not even, but it's the water that gets into it. The water that gets into that makes it so the gas expands, it turns into gas, or whatever, it explodes. I don't even like that stuff. It's fucking, it sat there for 6 years. Like, that makes a lot of sense, right? Like, only an idiot would leave it like that. Who the fuck knows? It looked like a fucking missile went into it. Someone could have flown a drone into it. You know, like, you could put C4 in a drone or a kid's RC car and drive it into stuff. And someone probably did something like that. I watched it. I was like, that doesn't just happen, man. I don't know, man. Like, I think it was terrorism related. It was politically motivated. A guy that's from here. That blast was, yeah, we'd be deaf if that went off.
More than a week after that
Beirut blast. Nurse describes how she saved babies from rubble. Cool, man. That's what I like to hear. This world's fucked, man. It's run by retards. Look.
Her heroic act has now gone viral.
That's fucking awesome. That makes my day. Watch. Whoa! Woo!
San Jose News takes us back to the day her world blew up.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Inside favorite St. George's Hospital shows the moment of the blast.
Jesus fuck.
And Nikki nurse was at her desk.
Insane, man.
Something very loud. The ground started shaking underneath me, and everything came crumbling down.
No, yeah, we'd probably be dead from that.
What is my baby?
Depends.
I couldn't see them.
Fucking crazy.
All the babies were covered with rubber. I grabbed
Fucking
them,
clowns, eh?
And I held them well and went through the store outside.
Alongside
The government resigned. Look at it. What the fuck? Like, how fucking retarded, man. I feel so bad for those people. Like, I have friends from that country, from that exact spot. My friend moved out of there like years ago. He would have died from that probably. And there's my other friend too, and my boss. When I used to do carpet laying, he used to live there, he said. In that same spot, lived right by that.
So I felt a moment of peace.
Woo!
And I had them back in the
They're lucky.
Two of the babies Pamela saved were triplets, Sadra and Ali. Their sister Zafra discharged last week. Their mother says they fear the worst.
Yeah, who knows who's behind it, bro?
Way to express this.
They're fucking lucky as fuck.
And they were the lucky ones. There was a third baby, Noah. He also survived. Is also still doing well. This, as the death toll is nearly 200 people, more than 6,000 people injured. The damage there is estimated at more than $15 billion. And all of those people that were watching clean up the streets, clear the damage, those are volunteers and NGOs, not the government.
Of course the government did nothing. That's their job. To sponge off citizens. UK holds first physically distant outdoor concert. Hurting. I wonder who actually was involved though. I can tell you right now. It's hard to say. Terrorism. There was a website, two websites that linked to Al Qaeda, and the cops were told about it in Canada. They didn't even do anything, so the company got rid of their websites.
Only 5 people were allowed in each penned-off area.
Crazy, eh?
And that's all the time we have here on Global News. And our COVID-19 coverage continues this afternoon on BC1, including the latest virus modeling. We'll get data from provincial health officials and we'll carry it live.
Like the Cray Brothers, everything calls for a cup of tea.
Take care of yourselves.
You ever watched the Cray Brothers movie with that guy? What the fuck's that fag's name? What the fuck's his name? Tom Hardy? I don't care if he's a fruit, but he is. He was saying all this stuff, and I was like, the guy's nuts, dude. These people, like, Hollywood is crazy, man. I'm so happy I never wasted my time trying to be an actor. After all the scandals, like the Me Too and stuff, like, it's good. They should be held accountable for their actions. Like Bill Cosby, he's getting so much pudding in jail.
And you can imagine suddenly all these gas producers.
He's getting this pudding tossed.
And that shock.
There's videos of them setting up the handling. I don't know. What do you think about Bill Cosby and his pudding?
Ammonium nitrate.
Look at this. He's getting his pudding. Ammonium nitrate. Look.
1947, a massive explosion killed more than 500
There's
people.
videos of them setting up the hanging.
After a ship carrying the chemical compound caught fire. Since
Well, it's
things
fucking
like
nuts,
fuel
bro.
and heat can cause an explosion, ammonium nitrate cannot be stored in.
Yeah, he's getting his Jello pudding tossed. He's getting his salad tossed.
Absorbs moisture. When it does that, the crystal-like substance becomes.
This is what I was talking about earlier.
Heated gases inside. And when hot gas expands and has nowhere to
Woo!
go, it causes an extraordinary amount of pressure, triggering an explosion.
I don't
So in
believe
general,
that's what
it
happened.
needs to
I
be
think they
stored
did it on
in
purpose.
air-conditioned or cool area in sealed bags and in limited quantities.
You shouldn't store them in a big.
Kaboom!
You have no bigger than 1 meter. That's definite.
Because ammonium nitrate does have explosive properties, many countries have tight regulations when it comes to how it's stored.
If you do, store incorrectly.
I don't know. They tried to say it was.
Then you have a fire. Well, yes, it's very, very unfortunate. And after
Like, look at all these poor people, man. I feel so bad for these people
they had no idea.
during a pandemic too.
Lebanon is in mourning, and there is mounting anger and
That's funny, look.
questions surrounding
I think it's awesome that they did this. They're all protesting against their government's incompetence, like they're retarded, man. They don't care.
The twin clouds over Beirut will never be.
Look at that orange cloud.
Emmanuel Campanella will remain.
It's the orangest ever, man. Like, for them, they said, what's this?
All right, with the impending school year just
The school year, breaking news. Tyler, what did you send? Yeah. Those Mexican hats I got are growing big, Tyler.
I know that many parents are wondering what the return to school means for their child who will be entering
Whoa.
classroom for the first time since the pandemic came into our lives. Let me be clear. If the best
They're getting huge. Right here. They're all growing now, look.
Fortunately, the robust consultation with medical experts inside and outside the government and duty and
They're gonna get huge soon.
over the past 7 months,
Yeah, I think that's what I thought too.
folks who safely
Missile.
the open space.
Those Mexican hats are growing pretty fast though. In a few months, they'll be big. They'll get a couple inches. At least 10 of those will live out of all of those. And in September, I'm gonna buy a couple, Tyler. I just gotta pick them up at Kootenai Street.
And for students in grade 4 and up, and encourages them to those low. We are funding mandatory health and
Yeah, I don't know.
safety
Trent Dabbs, did you sign off? Are you still there?
Their classroom interactions with students are these
I was really bored, so I went live.
Moreover, we're investing over $100 million for custodians and enhanced cleaning supplies for schools
Oh,
and buses.
Trent Dabbs just said,
Meaning that high-touch services and school facilities.
Look how fat I got. I got the job of the hut chin.
Ontario uniquely has a
That's how fat I'm getting.
surveillance testing of our students. And we said along with the EU province in this country to have planned to hire 500 health nurses into our school system to assist with surveillance testing with symptom monitoring and making sure the staff and students have the knowledge and the tools they need to stay safe. These investments total over $300 million, position Ontario as the leading jurisdiction.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's real, but it's hard to say. That stuff does happen every day, though. There's been another 6 explosions.
Our students than ours. We're proud of it. Folks, we're leading the nation, and indeed many
In China.
jurisdictions in the world on our layers of prevention approach to reopen schools soon. We're backing it up with unprecedented.
Yeah, who knows?
Like we said, our plan is a living document. It is responding to the needs of the ground with a singular focus on safety. Today, I'm proud to build the next steps of our strategy to safely return to class and build layers of prevention already.
I gave myself a first-degree bird earlier.
I'm directing the boards will be able to invest nearly $500 million in funding to support local clarity.
That stings. Burned right off, man. My fingertip on the side, on the fingertip, and on the side of it, just harsh burn. I was cooking, and then I just wasn't paying attention. I was on the phone talking to Adidas because my shoes ripped, so I wanted a refund. And then I grabbed the pot, and it stung, and I couldn't put the pot down because the food I had, like, it would have made a mess. So I slowly put it like back down, like on the counter though, and I was like, oh man, that hurt.
In addition to that $500 million investment, medical experts have emphasized the importance of improved care and care.
Every time I like do anything, doing that stings like really bad.
There's school maintenance funding, which supports things like
No.
HVAC upgrades or water.
I don't need an ambulance. I'm just saying, man, like, be careful and pay attention to what you're doing.
However, we can.
So I was making food, I was cooking bacon, and I grabbed the pot, put it on the plate, but I grabbed it wrong. And I'm on the phone with Adidas trying to pay attention to them and explain to them why I want my money back, and then I burned my fingertip. It hurts really bad. It's like sticking your finger right now in this candle. If you ever did that, I've done it. My friend dared me to. Like, that's what it feels like.
These upgrades implements
I burned my fingertip right off. My friend's like, I bet you won't do it.
While we are dramatically insisting
I did this too before.
on the safety of
I
sports,
put out a smoke in my tongue. My friend's like, I don't think you have the balls. I'm like, yeah, I do. I did it with a Cuban cigar too. Not a real Cuban, but like the same size.
Ontario does. And I want it to be strong.
No, I'm not. I'm fine, man. That's nothing. I got into a fight one time and a guy bit my thumb right off almost. It's nothing, man. It just hurt a lot. I was crying almost. I was like, ah. I was like this, like a gimp. It's like I had a stroke. My arm doesn't work anymore. I had to hold it like this. It hurt so bad. And try to headbutt him and give him punches and elbows and fight the guy as he bit my thumb because he's trying to hit me still. And he started the fight. Look, it's nothing, man. It makes you stronger. See the teeth marks? Because the guy was bugging me and I grabbed him and I tried to do a Muay Thai clinch. And I had my fingers in his eyes, and I slipped though, and my thumb went in his mouth. And the only thing he could do, because I'm giving him elbows like this, and like this, on top of the head, is bite my thumb. I couldn't knock the guy out, because he's a big native guy. And every time, like, you know what I mean? A normal person, you see elbow him in the head, and I'll knock the sense, like, right out of him. But like this, he just got madder every time I hit him. So I tried to headbutt him, but as I was trying to do that, my hand slipped out of his eye. That's what he did. That hurt. It was fun though. I'd do that again.
We are being bold in this regard.
We all got scars like that. I got scars all up my arm too from fights. People are cowards, that's why.
The standard 300-minute day for live synchronous instruction, or as I noted, a Zoom-style experience for our kids. Kids aged 1 to 12 must receive a minimum of 75% of live synchronous learning each day. We would want to 100%, however,
I knew it sucked.
we do note that units have raised concern about going outside of a 300-minute day for any one-on-one time, and therefore we preserve 25% of that day for the one-support or small group support which makes sense and which will be needed in our classrooms. To ensure greater accountability, to improve the experience for our
Kids are going back to school. That's how the COVID-19 is going to spread so bad.
Staff and administrative support.
Like really bad though.
Principals, in short, to help administer and ultimately accountability for parents. And within this funding, boards will hire principals and these support staff dedicated exclusively to online learning so that their singular focus
Yeah, the 2-week lockdown is never going to end. Lots of people are back at work.
and creating an element of accountability. So you have a point of contact. And so that these kids remain safe.
And what's going to happen is in Australia, or in Auckland, I mean,
the government
they it's raining there too right now in Sydney, but in Auckland I don't think it is. They said that they had like the highest cases yet there after post-pandemic, like post-restrictions, lockdown restrictions. They're relocking down the whole place.
This means the school boards will be able to
Nice, eh?
access nearly $900
Idiots.
million.
They're saying that the COVID-19
Prepare them for a safe return to school.
won't die, and like it was transported there through, you know how you transport food on a truck in the freezers, that it survived on that somehow.
We're taking action, one time, temporary, targeted, timely action. To
So that's how they can spread again.
We respond to this generation
Ridiculous.
together. This is in addition to the $700 million we announced a month or so ago as part of the.
You guys want to see something hilarious?
It represents the highest ever investment in education in Province's history.
I'll show you this.
All this times. We are investing, we are consistently adding health and safety measures.
Remember when I sent you this, Tyler?
And day to day, we are listening. Investment demands. We're taking monumental steps to protect your children and the classroom that they learn well. The absolute is what
I'm trying to find it. Where is it? I seen this couple here with bottles and trying to go up the hill.
In our committees, in our public health measures team, we have been looking at this for a while. We have been consulting with the Ministry of Education
Watch.
and asking our experts in science and other backgrounds on the research.
Yeah, the government around the world really are the virus for sure. Watch this. I don't know if I could actually show it on screen for some reason. I want to. I just seen. Let's see here.
Staging, as you've been observing. In a sense, what we're going to be asking as for parents engaged in this is because as you go back to school,
Where is it?
parents get ready to go back to school, children get ready to go back to school, and they all do their things. Usually it's around the backpack, getting what's in it.
I want to show you these bottles. It's funny.
Sometimes
I seen it earlier. I walked over to my mom's, Tyler,
the boys will not wear them, but that's
and I was like, "Look, yeah, they were stuck. I almost helped them, and then they're like, we're fine."
that's tough. And that's a new one. That's when we find
Yeah, traces of coronavirus found in frozen chicken wings, shrimp packaging in China. Wow,
at school.
jeez,
You need to get that.
brutal.
That means what are we going to do to prepare for that? And that means educating your children. What we can do
Yeah,
all day
nuts.
long when we're staging. We're prepared for this. You instead, throughout this time.
This guy looks like a cartoon character. Mr. Wilson from what's that show called?
If they are ill, they test them.
That show, Dennis the Menace.
And hygiene. Top etiquette was still in place at that time. Stage 2. And then on to stage 3.
Mr. Wilson.
You can go out and do more, gather more in public settings in stage 3, which we're now.
Remember that? Remember Dennis the Menace?
It's still safe.
They had that stench flower. That flowers once a year. I want one of those.
You still have now wear a mask, but you're in a public setting where you don't think you can maintain that. You still have hand hygiene. You're still supposed to
Mr.
stay when
Wilson.
you're
He
sick.
looks like Hitler.
You're still supposed to get assessed. Because you think you have COVID symptoms or you're in contact with the case or you've been exposed. And you're still supposed to do that in a timely fashion. Those did not change during the stages, except for the masking, and will not change even as we go.
Look up. I found the source of the coronavirus by Lao Y86 YouTube, and I will.
You train your children how to do that in your settings. You have your social circles. You have your cohorts. How can you work with that cohort? How is going to deal with that? So in a way, we prepared you to prepare your children to do that. And as the minister said, there's many steps being put in place within these school structures
Insane, man.
and with the boards and their staff.
I never thought a virus like this would happen ever again after the 1918 Spanish flu. I don't think it is, Tyler. I don't think it's from eating bats either. I don't eat bats, but it's the same. Like, I don't think it's from that. Want to know what I think? It was made in a lab and released just to cause harsh problems for some people. That's what I think. I don't know. Who knows? I wasn't there, right? I wasn't involved, so I don't know what they're doing.
We talked about our extra staff and going in to assist in the school programs to look at tracing, contact management. We've done that in the province. That's been critical. When people are identified, we quickly move in without, if they have COVID or don't have COVID, all the contacts are traced and notified, and people are advised of what they should do and should not do during that period of time. We're going to do the same in the school environment for the parents and the teachers, so they can be advised as soon as possible what is going on within the community. Why? Because it's important.
Weird, this battery's dead too. Oh, man.
Our numbers have been under 100 for the whole province. In the last week, one day we popped over. We nearly got down
That's
to
what they said.
150, but that was a bit of a data issue. We hope to get that even down lower as the month continues.
Well, I charge both these batteries now.
That means our community containment is working. When it's contained in the community, it's not in the community, then it will not be in the schools. So therefore, you need to contain.
Who knows what the fuck, man? It's just the world's filled with fucking clowns. People don't care. There's been case after case where people are partying. I watch kids party, right? And I would go, you know. It's not just that though. The battery's dead too, bro. I was gonna fill it up. I used all of it earlier.
As aware as you can be, and weigh that risk because you're assessing that.
I'm gonna charge both batteries now. I'm fucking choked. I'm gonna use that. It's not that. Yeah. No, I know there's no juice, but look, it's the batteries were dead, so I just gotta fill it up. Chinese stole it and sold it, probably. They stole it. Tyler was involved. He's a Chinese spy.
Not with the sense to say we are planning on nothing happening. We want to say if something does happen, if there is a case,
It's not.
we'll move on quickly.
I know it's empty, but it's just I really wanted to puff off it. It's better than smoking. It's just empty though. The battery too.
What's happening to your child in school?
Am I ever fucking bored? I don't even like going out right now. I want to get the Corbin 99.
Around the school.
Fucking Corbin 99.
I'm pleased to say that we are approving and working forward with Ministry of Education on a go-forward basis. As the evidence comes
They're
out,
banning vape juice now? Hardcore.
we review that.
Oh well.
Lots of studies happening. We want to know what is good studies.
I quit drinking a year ago. I quit fucking smoking cigarettes and everything else too. I don't give a fuck.
Any new recommendations to the
I didn't like
ministry
smoking,
so
man.
they
I
can
just like
advise
nicotine.
and change new policies if necessary. So we are as up to date as we can be. We'll continue to be up to date and we can
It's good though.
and recommend accordingly. So far, to Anthony's back.
Just the world we're living in is filled with fucking corruption, dude.
One question, one follow-up.
Government's a fucking joke. They don't care about us. They could totally make it so everyone can have more money and take care of their citizens, and they don't.
I must admit, I'm a little confused by your announcement.
You don't even know at this point if it's real, what life? Of course it is.
How does that
There's parallel universes and shit, though. Who knows what the fuck's going on? Trying to have a good time while you're alive.
And you've also addressed the fact that many have noted
The news is fucked, but I watch it so much. It's awesome.
Thank you for the question. I did see the Liberal Party suggest that there are 4 boards of the province in Ontario that do not have reserves, so we're able to do this homework a bit more. In that
Yeah, I'll bring it back if you don't mind, Trent.
Part of our announcement today, part of the communication materials we'll have, is for those 4 boards specifically.
Yeah, I know. I know you were. Oh, let's see. I'm gonna go over here. I just want to get like another tea on the go. It's just my Wi-Fi shitty. I forgot to update it earlier. Hard to say with fucking what's real and what isn't. I'm pretty sure the coronavirus is not fake though. I don't know, man. There's all kinds of weird shit. I got colds all the time. I always get sicker when I get the flu shot, so I don't get it anymore. I don't want it. I don't want to fucking get that. Be right back, guys. I'm gonna take a whiz. But you're right, though. Who knows what the fuck's going on?
So this is enabling them to utilize existing dollars that are largely unspent ministry dollars and sensitive dollars that they haven't utilized today. It allows them to do really 2 areas of focus. It allows them to support leasing of additional space should that be requested for distancing. It allows them to ensure more social distancing should they want to hire more educators or more staff. This one-time investment will allow them to respond to the extraordinary health challenge we have. It's $500 million to achieve those very objectives because the consensus position we heard from medical authorities is while masking is absolutely prudent, distancing is important, and the more distancing we can invest in and support, the better. And that's why we are unlocking this $500 million fund, where we're enabling those boards without reserves to have access to those funds, and we're allowing them to have resources for other issues or other needs facing the local community.
Follow-up?
Thank you. This is a pretty tall order with schools set to start in 3.5 weeks. You talk about leasing spaces.
Yeah, we're living in a real cool time, eh, guys?
Logistics that would have to happen for.
I still wear N95 when I go. Yeah. PA, PR works best, but the medical professionals aren't using them. The only people I saw using them was the Japanese, yeah, because they have brains in their heads. They use. Yeah, we live in a real fucked world, guys. Real fucking weird planet. It's like living in another universe. Ever since the COVID-99 happened. L code. What this does is it just enables them to do more of it and to do quicker with the research that they require. World's fucked, man. Like, we're surrounded by retards. Every time I go out, people don't social distance. They have this mask on. Check it out. My friend told me you're supposed to put the blue side of the inside. Right? I don't know. Is it blue on the outside or inside, Jabba? Yes. That's what Tyler Barnes said. Some weeks ago. Doesn't matter, I don't care. But I was wearing it, right? And then this lady stood right next to me, this fat pig. No, I'm not trying to fat shame anyone, but she was a fat slut probably. She was a pig. And I'm standing next to her, and I'm like walking from Metrotown, from Superstore, and I just got myself some groceries. No, yeah, it's true. But she stood right next to me, shoulder to shoulder, so I'm like, and I hawked the biggest loogie louder than that. I'm trying to be quiet. My neighbors hate me because they fucking make so much noise. They make tons too, but I try to be quiet just to be respectful. And she looks at me like this, and I backs away with 4 feet. I'm like, thank you, you fucking pig. I hawked the big loogie. I was like, people are retarded, obviously. She looked at me like, why are you doing that or something? I was like, well, what the fuck do you think, man? There's no fucking space, you clown. People are retarded, man. Fucking wet brain drunk. She looked like a drunk dude. Her eyes were all fucked in the head. Like they were like kind of weird. I was like, well, don't stand fucking near me. I fucking the mask made it so I couldn't breathe and all this like shit builds up and then I have to like clear my throat.
Next question.
You slob. I didn't spit at it or anything. He told me the blue goes on the inside, Tyler. And I thought it was the blue on the outside.
Hi there.
Like that. And still shit can get through, even when I go like this, watch.
Are you going to mandate smaller content as well to go along with it? I mean, why not doing that directly instead of sort of speaking on the education with extra funding? Why not mandate smaller class sizes?
APAPR force into the mask, so if it breaks the seal, they push it out. I don't know. But I'm like this, and I'm standing there, and this person stands next to me, and it happened a lot, so I started clearing my throat. And then people looked at me lost, so I'm like, well, fucking give me personal space. I didn't pull the mask out and spit at them. I didn't spit anywhere. Fucking idiots. You know what I mean, guys? Like, fuck, man, leave me out of your shit. I was just trying to walk somewhere and go home.
School boards in conjunction with the right frontline workers and parents, most especially, to make those investments where they can and where they're needed. And I think that's important to have an element.
40% off an Adidas website.
Like what we've done today is ensure
Adidas'
$500
website.
million is invested for further distancing in our schools, in addition to $50 million in improving
Yep.
flow air quality.
All right.
Together, that
Take
is
the phone call, bro.
additional action on top of
Oh,
the
banging in the hallway.
$309 million announced just a few weeks ago that makes Ontario the leading the country in investment on a per pupil basis, and I think it reflects.
It's really nice out today, though. Look at this. Look at the colors on that tree. Ah. Nice out.
So the remainder online, utilizing synchronous live
Oh, it's cloudy again.
education for the remainder. I understand some boards have put that out to go through and hold them offline to ensure that their program reflects the spirit of our direction. We obviously aspire to have children in class half the time online, half the time that online experience will be synchronous, it will be live. It'll provide for a sense of community for the kids and ultimately just a better learning experience when they're not physically.
Ah, look. Woo, I'm a sperm.
Hi, Minister. Just going back to the timing of this, if this isn't a new expenditure and it's just a one-time allowance to use the reserve fund, why didn't you just do this weeks ago?
Well, the province, in fact, has been increasing expenditure and investment. I mean, before
These plants are growing, man. Awesome.
is the greatest investor in the restart of any school program in Canada.
They're all growing like crazy, Jollarch.
We are spending more in areas like PPE procurement for every student and likewise for every staff member. We're doing having nurses.
That one's dead almost.
Aggressive testing. We have 1,300 custodians. We are investing $75 million in the cleaning supplies and the staffing supplies, as well as the busing, additional 41,000 people. To be fair, you have to know money in place.
You got the power.
Yesterday, in some cases, the boards are saying, look, one way we can help create that distancing that we all want is by unlocking those reserves. There's cash sitting on hand right now. By law, to utilize 1% for operating expense, we're allowed to go up to 2%. And in fact, on a business case basis, we will allow them to exceed that should they have those funds. But the fact is, by enabling them to do the 2%, we're giving them access to $500 million in investment immediately today, which would be, I think, really important for additional hiring, for spacing, and for any of the local priorities that are not linear. I mean, look, in some rural boards, busing may be more of a challenge than it may be in an urban center, for example. You need to have a bit of latitude. We're a large geographic province, it is a strength, but it also...
What I'm just trying to do, guys, is this.
A bit of latitude.
Just trying to straighten out this one right here with this coat hanger. I busted up.
This is an unprecedented challenge. We're dealing with an element of adversity that perhaps our province in this generation has not seen. And so we have to be ready to build upon our ideas, to listen to the new evidence as it emerges, to seek the advice and skilling up and adding those additional layers of prevention. And so we're doing that today. And that's $500 million.
There we go.
Absolutely important. So just to create that distancing and ultimately ensure that those remains safest certainly possible this year.
Oh, I got poked by the cactus.
The HVAC, it's August 13th. For some of these older
Just
schools
kidding, guys.
that have obviously older systems, is this going to be enough time for them to retrofit everything appropriately? And if they don't, does that not mean that you might have to delay the school year? And I think the question is, if a board tells you we can't start on September 8th, are you going to stand with them?
In the context of a board requesting a staggered start, if, for example, a board wanted to, for the purpose of the safe, cautious reopening, have students starting at kindergarten on the first day and then having grade 1 and 2 on the second day, more grade 4 and 5 on Wednesday, etc. I'd be open to that concept over the first week. I think it's prudent to have an element of flexibility. If school boards are saying to me that a more cautious restart, a staggered restart, having lower numbers of students en masse enter school, and they'd rather do it through that approach. But I never support any concept to de-risk the circumstance for kids, and that seems reasonable and not outside the spirit of our plan, which is to get kids back to school this September. Now, with respect to the HVAC capacity, in fact, we have been working on procuring with the Ministry of Government Consumer Services and others on two things. One is on procuring MERV 13 level filters, filtration systems that work with our HVAC, with our schools that are modern, with a high standard of excellence, level of excellence that I think will ensure the air quality we want. That's for the more modern HVAC systems. As you mentioned, our government inherited a very challenging context of maintenance background with leveling schools.
Yeah.
It's $500 million to build new schools.
Make what change colors?
Schools, and I'll be doing that again in the coming weeks. But having said that,
yeah, that's good, Tyler. I cranked the heat last night.
Utilizing an air filtration system that could be brought in to support their HVAC system, or in older schools that may have, for example, portables.
I had the heat on 30. I turned it on at 9:30 until I got up, and then around 9:30 this morning, I turned the heat off and opened the window.
We already are looking at supply, particularly for the filters, we're looking at the Ministry of Health, triaging those older schools, those portables, and in those neighborhoods, especially, I think in Toronto, the northeast, northwest, and areas of the province that have higher risk of transmission, those are really going to be the areas of focus. And then looking from there out to the more modern filtration system. So boards can do this. I was in Durham this last week, and I was speaking to one of the gentlemen that works on the HVAC systems. They are currently updating 20 older schools as we speak, not knowing that there's more funding to flow. So boards are already utilizing $1.4 billion in maintenance funding for this precise reason. This is improve the safety of a washroom or update of water fans, or in this case, improve HVAC systems, which they're emphasizing rightfully so over the past weeks and months. And now this would just certainly, motivate and incentivize them to do even more and go even further to improve their air quality in the province. And I think it's good to speak on HVAC systems.
Well, thank you, Minister, and I'm pleased with the announcement and that the different boards can access and deal with your unique situations. We know that air quality is an important factor for health, and the recommendations and issues there have been supported by medical experts in there.
Yeah, those plants are doing a lot better, Tyler. I just needed bigger pots now for the mother of millions.
And the other things that we're putting in place. So this is what the minister's talking about, and we've talked about our measures table. Is these different layers that have on there.
See what I mean? The Camacho, the Mexican hats.
And so protection and these kind of investments are most important as we deal with that very infrastructure across the province and doing that in a timely way.
This one here is the same as that guy.
Taking steps in that.
It's a female, actually, I think.
Next question.
A nice day.
Hi there, Minister. Your government is setting the parameters here for
It's smoky out. There must be harsh fires around still burning somewhere. Wooched. Breaking news.
You're watching Global News. We'll have more updates on the COVID-19 situation as it continues to unfold across the country. Time now for a quick break. And that is more national and international news in just a moment.
Well, it's windy out now.
Global News dug into Canada's water supply and found alarming levels of lead. Citrus? We told viewers about the health implications. That could be your child drinking that water with high lead and what communities are at risk.
That's frightening.
The investigation raised awareness across the country
If I was made aware, I would have never touched the water.
and had an impact on water testing policy change, covering and uncovering stories that affect Canadians. Global News. Carolyn McKenzie. A full hour of star power. It's like leaving the office. Weekday morning.
Who the hell wants to beat that guy? It's like beating Elvis. That's really not nice. I want to beat that guy.
Uncovers the stories that affect Canadians. Global National with Donna Friesen.
Come on, brag a little. Send us a picture of your Canada, and we'll showcase it at the end of Global National. Email it to viewers at globalnational.com.
You're watching Global News. I'm Shamir Mangaraj. Here are some of the stories we are tracking. Israel and the United Arab Emirates have struck a historic peace deal to normalize relations. France reports a new post-lockdown daily record of COVID-19 infections with last night's number surpassed
2,500 infections in France.
And the leader of the
New COVID-19.
will force a confidence vote if the Prime Minister, his chief of staff, and the
Wow.
finance minister don't die. The Toronto tech company recently learned it was providing services to terrorist websites.
Terrorist
Prime Minister
websites.
reached out to the RCMP for help.
They reached out to the pigs and the cops didn't do anything.
Wound up taking matters into its
So they
own
took their own matters into their own
The
hands.
Trudeau government made
The
a
Trudeau
commitment
government's
to
useless,
fight
yep.
extremist propaganda online.
I am
in
too, Tyler.
2019. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau.
I'm
was
fucking enraged. I want to
2
fucking
months
lose my
after
mind on
Christchurch
some idiots.
mass shootings,
Fucking
and he vowed
barbecuing
to
outside
crack down
stinks.
on extremist content online.
We will hold them to account and there will be meaningful financial consequences.
Fuck you.
But more than a year later, it's not clear how successful
More than a year later,
it's been.
Mr.
Earlier
Trudeau
this year,
did shit
Toronto-based
fucking cock all.
company
Two
was
cows.
unknowingly providing domain registration services to Al Qaeda and the Pakistani
Al Clowna.
Taliban, both outlawed terrorist organizations. It was the Middle East Media Research Institute that first identified the sites and their use of a Canadian domain registrar.
It's hard to imagine the global terrorist movement of the last 20 years without the ability of these groups to exploit Western technology, very often without knowing, without those Western companies knowing what they're providing.
When Tukas learned about the website linked to the Pakistani Taliban, it contacted the RCMP.
The
After
pigs did
waiting
nothing.
days for a response, the company took matters into its own hands.
They did
disabled
nothing.
the domain
You ain't gonna do nothing like McGregor says. You'll do nothing. The cops did nothing.
Is going to disrupt anything that they're up to. That, I would say, takes longer than we like.
And it was only when alerted by Global News late last month that Tukas took down a second site, this one linked to Al Qaeda. It had been registered through Tukas but protected by a proxy service in Texas.
See?
Despite the
Proxy
Trudeau government's
service.
commitment to fight extremist propaganda online, Johnson says his firm needs more support.
You know, there really hasn't been, I think, enough public debate and discussion about who we want to empower to remove things from the internet. Do we have an obligation to step into that gap, and if so, how do we do that?
The RCMP declined to comment on the website specifically. Krista Hesse, Global News.
But anyways, back in '98, my friend's dad talked to the cops about the Area India bombing and said that the guy that was on the news about it, that was wanted, he said he's living next door to him and the cops didn't come until he moved. I'm serious, man. 1998, though. I'm actually really bored too. I want to play Mafia 1, the remake. It's not out until September 25th. I actually feel like this going to the forest and shooting a bow and arrow at a target. I don't have one right now.
The goal is to compensate gun owners of newly prohibited firearms. Public Safety Canada has invited more than a dozen consulting firms to come up with a range of approaches to the initiative. Now, the ban was introduced by the local
good.
Members of one family are dead after drowning in a waterfall in west central Alberta. Police say one of the 3 adults was swept.
It's funny, man. Transit cops, they tried to beat my brother and his friend up. I know it's 40% off. My friend's brother's like this, bam, one cop fell, another one, the transit cops, another one fell after that. Idiots, man.
Well, U.S. President Donald Trump has announced a major diplomatic deal with
I want that too. I want the gray Trefoils t-shirt. I want the white stripes, and it's gray, like the green one I have. I want a black one and a red one too. And that North Face jacket, the Reebok jacket, then there's the Reebok the Adidas Sealy shoes and black, the skate shoes. I wanted the other stuff too. 2 Reebok shirts, and a North Face hat.
TikTok's time in the United States may soon be up, with President Donald
Lots of stuff.
threatening to ban the video sharing app by mid-September because of its ties to China. Savannah looked at what might be driving that concern.
We're looking at TikTok. We may be banning TikTok.
No. Donald Trump, if you see this, leave us alone.
American TikTok users are livid that President Donald Trump might ban the app. Some of them rely on it to help build their personal brands, and even as a source of income.
Peace out.
The reason it's such a big deal
Peace
is
out,
because
TikTok.
my brother and me have made our money on TikTok. We're now able to get computers for school.
See?
Trump issued
TikTok,
an
the girls,
executive
they
order
made their
to
money
ban
off
the
TikTok,
app
so
in
her
the
and her
US,
brother
and
can get
Microsoft
computers for
has until
school.
the 15th of September to
Coming
start
over,
to deal
Tyler.
with Chinese by
Coming over.
by TikTok's U.S. operations. Otherwise, TikTok's time will be up.
Thanks for buying me those pants for my birthday, bro.
Trump has it out for the app. Some speculate the beef might have started here. Trump had planned
It's so
a
funny
rally
though,
that
like I got in
TikTok
fights with
fans
people and I
and
just
TikTok
smacked
users
them.
take credit for
And then I was like,
sabotaging.
ugh, you know how hard it is for me not to punch people in the fucking face, man?
And then
Some
never
girl was
showed
ripping
up.
me off and showed me
TikTok
money.
is owned by Byte,
And it was hard for me not to
a
just be
company
like,
from China.
ugh.
And the U.S. administration has had ongoing tensions with the country.
Like she tried to attack me and I don't do that hitting women thing. And her boyfriend too, and they're heroin addicts. And then we used to be friends and then we started doing heroin, so I stopped talking to them. And they tried to like argue with me and they tried to hit me and I was like, just keep doing that, man. Get away from me.
So there's a good chance that there's
I never would hit a woman, but holy shit, man.
apps so we can see what's being done with the data.
She tried to hit me and
Is a
smack
window
me.
into the American
And her
life.
boyfriend got
And Trump might be
in my
afraid
face
that
too.
if
And I'm like,
TikTok
boss,
stays
man.
in China could influence
Just people should
voters
love one
ahead of the
another, not
2020
fight with each other. And they were
presidential
trying to attack me, bro.
election. We're not planning on going
Right? So I flipped
The
out.
thing is,
I
Trump
don't
might
hit
not
people, don't,
actually
man.
be able to ban an app, especially one with 30 million active
You know how people are,
users
they ask
in
for
the
it.
US.
I still didn't do anything.
And because it goes against the freedom of the internet.
Most of TikTok's users are aged 18 to 24, one of the most tech-savvy demographics. So if the ban happens, it's likely they might just be able to find a way around it. Jasmine Cubano, Global News.
I want to show you some absolutely incredible video coming out of California where a police officer saved a
Yeah, watch this.
from being hit by an oncoming train.
She got protected. She saved him from getting run over.
Frantic moments caught on the female officer's body.
She just was on patrol too.
It's unclear how the man's wheelchair even became stuck. The officer only came across him by chance.
Yeah, she was on patrol and came across him by chance.
By the train, but he is expected to survive.
Nuts. Yeah, that drug problem has gotten worse and worse. Those junkies, I wanted to hit them. They were threatening me. They said they'll call the cops on me. I said, call them then. Seriously, I almost punched her in the face, man. I was like, fuck you, man. When I licked me off again. You know how those people are. I was like, I just about grabbed him by the shirt, pull his head down into my kneecap. Fucking licked me off like that. When I get fucking punched out, man. Fuck. I hate talking to junkies. They're everywhere. Most people are junkies too, of some kind. Like me, I smoke cigarettes. That's junkie shit. But like, I don't smoke heroin, dude. That's a fucking whole other level of fucked.
The morning show with Jeff McCarthy and Carolyn McKenzie. I thought we had a full hour of
Yep, and just hold it like this. Just. No, for real though. It's stupid. I've done that a lot. Some guys tried to fight me. I was like this. Just, right in the side of the face. You know what I mean? And they're like, oh, that hurt.
Overall,
Just
nice conditions expected at least for the next couple of days.
like crazy lows, but for real, I'll actually punch you in the head and then actually knock you out with a punch.
Severe storms. We'll
So, you know.
touch on that and where it's headed next. But first, in the east, Halifax, Fredericton.
I'm just fucking around. This is how bored I am though. I start getting pissed off about
The
shit.
rest of the week, Montreal, Toronto's already experienced this.
It's funny, I watch Crazy Lows and he's like, yeah, Keanu.
Heavy rain to parts of Manitoba today and then into northern Ontario coming up here through Friday and into Saturday. Meanwhile, as we head further west, Saskatoon, Regina, much improved conditions after yesterday's storm. Calgary as well, Vancouver looks nice and sunny for Friday and Saturday with a high temperature anywhere from 20 to 23 degrees. It does get slightly warmer in Saskatchewan, Winnipeg, with the showers on Friday. Expected a high of only 20. 23 with a few thunderstorms early in Kenora. Those storms will extend into Thunder Bay late in the day. Toronto, Ottawa, Montreal, beautiful sunshine, low humidity, and a nice breeze. A fantastic stretch of weather that now is extending into the Maritimes. Halifax's high, 27. And that is a Jeff Rainer forecast across the country.
A new COVID cluster in New Zealand is being
In Auckland, New Zealand, not Australia. Well, it is, but different part of it. They're shutting down Auckland, Tyler. 4 people had it. That was just spread like wildfire.
Today marks day 11 of no new reported COVID-19 cases in Nova Scotia.
Nova Scotia is in day 11 of no new reported cases.
Testing is ongoing. Today, Nova Scotia has had over 67,000 negative test results and 1,071 positive cases, all considered resolved. There have been 64 deaths in that province. There's also currently no one in hospital as a result of COVID-19. Well, many Canadians are opting for a camping staycation this summer, and that has families venturing into new fields, mountains, and forests. And while it is a great way to social distance, it can mean encountering
These are so good.
that thrives on
They smell killer. Fisherman's friends, I got a fresh pack. It would have been whack if this was the empty pack that I was all I had here. Look, there's a tick.
We just try and avoid ticks with all our might. Lauren wrote it ever be.
Look, 2 pregnant broads. They're avoiding ticks with all their might hiking.
Or somebody in a mountain. Each trek ends the same. We're always doing tick checks for each other, especially our parents. We kind of do that alone, and then we usually go home and have like a nice big shower and check everywhere else. But it's really about stripping down after a hike and just kind of checking as best as we can.
According to Health Canada, black-legged ticks live
They just checked their ticks. They checked each other's hair, these 2 girls. These 2 women, like monkeys. I don't even like going in the forest because of that.
But can cause serious health issues if left untreated. A tick has to be embedded for at least 24 hours and probably more than 36 hours before it can spread the disease.
Lyme
So it's not
disease.
something that's going to happen immediately.
Dr. Burrows recommends long pants and closed-toed shoes to avoid contacting ticks in the first place. And if you spot a tick on your
Gross.
or your child's,
Ew.
like warm, dark places, by the way, forget the Vaseline or lighter, grab the tweezers.
That's really when the risk happens when it regurgitates into the
These ticks are so gross, I don't want to show them on the stream. 40% off Adidas.
So far, these hiking friends have yet to encounter a tick, and that's how they want to spend their adventures. Less time worrying about what's crawling at their feet, and more time enjoying the view. Laurel Redmond. watching Global News, and here with more national and international news is Anthony Robot.
Well, COVID-19 has forced Major League Sports to play to empty stadiums, of course, but the Dallas Cowboys want to change. Starting this fall, the team's owner, Jerry Jones, wants to start bringing fans into stadiums in small groups. Now, although the team has already canceled its 2020 season tickets, Jones says it's important for fans to be present and wants the NFL to be seen as inspirational. Meantime, the death toll in the United States from COVID-19 has hit its highest point in weeks, with nearly 1,500 deaths on Wednesday alone. With the flu season just around the corner, and
I'm so bored, Tyler.
To head back to class, officials fear those numbers could get even worse. Starting back this segment.
The coronavirus pandemic is consistently taking more lives per day than any time since May. In Texas, the positivity rate has jumped to around 24%, and the state reported more than 300 COVID deaths Wednesday, the most in the nation.
Texas has 324 COVID deaths.
We create almost a bubble, if you will, for our residential students.
Students are getting tested for the virus when they move onto campus.
This could be the worst fall from a public health perspective we've ever had.
CDC Director Robert Redfield says the upcoming flu season could compound the crisis, but Americans can avoid the worst of it if they wear masks.
We all got to do it. This is one of those interventions that got to be 95, 96, 97.
Someone's having a picnic outside of the grass.
President Trump says the government will send up to 125 million reusable face masks to reopen.
All schools should be making plans to resume in-person classes as soon as possible.
With more than 1,000 Americans dying a day and coronavirus cases increasing in some areas, a new poll shows a majority of voters, 59%, oppose schools fully reopening, while some schools remain closed. AMC movie theaters announced it will reopen 2/3 of its U.S. locations next month. And the actors at Disney World will return to work after the theme park agreed to have a testing site on premises. Danya Backus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Obesity may be a significant risk factor for death from COVID-19, especially in men. Researchers looked at the health records from nearly 7,000 COVID-19 patients who were treated between February and May. They found those whose BMI was over 44.
Body mass index, affects the COVID death rate.
3 weeks of the diagnosis. That's compared to those who were of average weight. But men and those younger than 60 had even a higher risk of dying from COVID-19 if they were obese. Welcome back. South of the border, presumptive Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden introduced his vice presidential pick on
The news is crazy, Tyler.
The newly minted Democratic ticket focused their case against President Trump on his coronavirus response. Skylar Henry has more from the White House.
Joe Biden and Kamala Harris say they have a plan to tackle the coronavirus pandemic.
Masking, clear science-based guidance, dramatically scaling up testing, getting states and local governments the resources they need to open the schools and businesses safely.
Harris said President Trump's lack of a response has had deadly consequences.
His refusal to get testing up and running, his flip-flopping on social distancing and wearing masks, his delusional belief that he knows better than the experts. All of that is reason, and the reason that an American dies of COVID-19
Crazy.
every 80 seconds.
More than 5 million Americans have tested positive for the coronavirus, but President Trump says there's a reason that number is higher in the U.S. than any other country.
The number of cases is not by any means the most important metric to focus on, because the fact is we have more cases because we have far more testing than any country in the world.
It's true, the U.S. has done more testing than any other country, but
That number is going down. Daily coronavirus tests have dropped
bored out of my mind.
17% since the end of July, even more so in the hardest hit states.
If you look at some of the states that had a flare-up recently, they're doing very well.
The president says the focus has shifted to preventing the spread among people with underlying health conditions.
Yep, that ain't our tea.
Never to keep hospitals from being overwhelmed. Skylar Henry, CBS News, the White House.
with police. Fireworks were set off, rocks, bottles, and paint were hurled as officers deployed tear gas to try to control the crowd. As tensions escalated, state troopers were eventually called in. Protests have been happening in Portland every night since the death of George Floyd. Multiple arrests were made, and one officer suffered a serious injury to his hand.
Global News dug into Canada's water supply and found alarming levels of lead. Sometimes we told viewers about the health implications. That could be your child drinking that water with high lead. And what communities are at risk.
That's frightening.
Our investigation raised awareness across the country.
If I was made aware, I would have never touched the water.
And had an impact on water testing policy change. Covering and uncovering stories that affect Canadians. Global News.
It's a morning show with Jeff McCarthy and Carolyn McKenzie. High five for that. A full hour of Star Time. Weekday mornings on Global.
Watch the award-winning newscast that covers and uncovers the stories that affect Canadians. Global National with Donna Friesen.
Come on, brag a little. Send us a picture of your Canada, and we'll showcase it at the end of Global National. Email it to viewers@globalnational.com.
You're watching Global News. I'm Shamir Maharaj. Here are some of the stories we are tracking. Israel and the United Arab Emirates have struck a historic peace deal to normalize relations. France reports a new health lockdown daily record of COVID-19 infections last night's number surpassing 2,500 cases. And the leader of the Bloc Québécois says he'll force a confidence vote if the Prime Minister, his chief of staff, and the Finance Minister don't resign. The Toronto tech company recently learned it was providing services to terrorist websites. The firm initially reached out to the Office of Youth Health, but as Krista Hesse reports, the company wound up taking matters into its own hands.
The Trudeau government made a commitment to fight extremist propaganda online in 2019. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau was in Paris 2 months after the Christchurch mosque shootings when he vowed to crack down on extremist content online.
We will hold them to account, and there will be meaningful financial consequences.
But more than a year later, it's not clear how successful they've been. Earlier this year, Toronto-based tech company...
Enough of that. Enough of the news. I'm watching it sit. Oh, video games. Ugh. Oh. L to L A-M. You know what I really want to play is Battletoads. Gotta wait till August 20th.
Jesus.
It's over, fuckface. You had a good little run there playing both sides.
Wicked.
Ancients have been doing this for
Finally figured this out.
You can imagine, and they don't take kindly to being fucked with. You sure about that? I stopped by some of your vending machines, and every single one of them has been smashed to pieces. Was uncanny. Oh, and I hope you held on to that moped, because I'm not a doctor, but it looks like your van is about to die of dynamite poisoning. Time to crawl back in your hole, bottom feeder.
Tyler, are you watching or what? I'm just trying to play this game, Mr. Tyler. I just figured out how to blow up that van in the game with by pressing this bomb. I don't know if you're even paying attention, but whatever. Are you watching? Yeah, cool, bro. Are you watching my stream? I'm just bored. I'm trying to play Shadow Warrior 2. Got the touch, you got the power.
Looks like this isn't your day.
Oh, this game's so wicked. I think the controller's busted. It won't let me teleport. Yep. Pressed it, pressed it, pressed it, pressed it over and over and over and over again. I think the controller's busted. Must be.
Hey! Would you put an apple on your head real quick? very quiet. Hot to dickheads.
So I pressed the button and it won't teleport.
Oh, you're not cheating out. This isn't your year.
Got a new sword now. Yeah, I think the controller's busted. It will not let me teleport. Huh. Really harsh. It also won't open the menu for the guns. I don't think anyone's going to come on the stream, so thanks for watching, guys. I'll be back on later, if not this Saturday. Okay, peace out.